Bitcoin lives entirely online. Have you ever thought about whether it could survive major disruptions to the electric grid or internet? Maybe it's a massive solar flare or a nuclear war that takes out most of the world's electrical and network infrastructure. Or perhaps governments shut down their country's borders and internet. How would Bitcoin hold up in such apocalyptic scenarios? First things first, let's be clear that if all the Bitcoin network's nodes and the data in it were destroyed, then yes, that would spell the end of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network currently relies on blockchain data hosted over 16,000 redundant and geographically dispersed nodes. In the worst-case scenario of a solar storm, some regions would still remain unaffected. Although a big chunk of nodes would be taken offline, there would still be active nodes elsewhere keeping Bitcoin alive and its data intact. When the infrastructure in affected regions got restored, offline nodes could be brought back online, and new nodes could be set up to rejoin and strengthen Bitcoin's network. If for some reason entire areas of internet coverage went out, Bitcoin could still remain available, believe it or not. The Bitcoin community has come up with ingenious alternatives to use Bitcoin without the internet. There are already Blockstream satellites out in orbit broadcasting the Bitcoin blockchain 24/7. With just a satellite dish and a laptop, you can connect to the Bitcoin network to send Bitcoins or even run a Bitcoin node yourself. You can also send and receive Bitcoin through radio networks and even SMS, which is already a popular method to send Bitcoin in parts of Nigeria with no internet coverage. Although these methods of using Bitcoin are for more extreme or adverse conditions and will hopefully never go mainstream, they will be around for those who ever find themselves needing it. Now, how do other assets compare to Bitcoin during an apocalypse? You might think that gold is a good option, but is it really? Gold is heavy and difficult to hide and move safely. You would probably want to ditch the gold as you run for the hills. How about plain old fiat, you say? But would you rely on your bank when the shit hits the fan? A majority of the fiat system has been digitized and is heavily dependent on banks and electronic infrastructure to operate, making cash your only option, which is still fine for small transactions, but walking about with your life savings probably isn't the smartest idea. Not to mention, fiat's value is guaranteed by the government. If the government collapses in a doomsday scenario, fiat just becomes worthless pieces of paper. Even as the financial system gets rebuilt, you can't be certain that you will recover your bank balance, as banks use digital centralized records that could be permanently lost or tampered with. The advantage that Bitcoin has is that it is fully digital, has robust and widespread infrastructure, and there's no trust needed in a third party. Though, as resilient as Bitcoin is during an apocalypse, it's likely that you'll have bigger problems to worry about. Perhaps when civilization has been rebuilt to a certain extent and there's a need for money, Bitcoin will be there whenever someone needs some sats to be sent. Want to learn about how blockchain nodes work and the different types that exist? Check out our explainer on that right here.